What's good, team? So today we're going to be talking about Mara. We called this out on January 31st. There's a video on my X account going over that and exactly why we entered. But today we ended up closing it out for a very, very healthy profit. And boy, did I close way too soon. There is a joke within our Discord community, which if you want to be a part of it, get access to all my trades and all of our trading bots. The link is in the description. But I sell way too early. We made 109% return and I sold at 9:39 a.m. Man, I mean, at that point, I think Mara was trading around, $20. And I was like, you know what? I think that there's a chance that we can continue to push up. But we had, weekly calls at this point. And I figured, you know what? It's just in my best interest, which I still had shares. I made a very healthy return off of that as well today, which I held until about 2 o'clock. But I want to talk about why we ended up entering this and why I ended up closing it probably way too soon. Because you can see my longer target is up about $30. So the first thing I want to cover is probably boring, but it's going to be risk management. When you're trading with options, you have to understand that the rate of return is always going to be significantly higher, or the rate of losses is also going to be significantly higher. So let's just say, responsibly, we have $10,000 and max we trade $1,000 per trade, which is 10% of your account or allocation capital, which is still high, but I've noticed after doing this for so long and working with so many clients, people will just not trade with too little because it doesn't give them enough dopamine, unfortunately. But the reason I say that is if you have a position of $1,000 and now that option or contract is up 100%, like I was this morning, in this instance, I was up $11,000 because I'm trading with more capital, but the same principles still apply. At that point, my entire portfolio or my fund, which is the way that you have to think about it, is now imbalanced because I now have double what I had, 20%, or I'm sorry, $2,000 in our example, or in my actual case, $20,000 in call options. So that means that if that would have doubled again, that would have been amazing, obviously, but then I have $40,000 in calls, and that really changes the balance of risk. Think of it like a seesaw in the direction of being too over leveraged to the side of Mara. So what I probably should have done looking back, I've been doing this so long, I should have just closed half of my calls at $20 because once you're up 100%, it's basically free money. You're playing on house money. I could have taken my $10,000 back and just let the rest ride, which is what I should have done, but it's whatever. I saw this initial bullish order block that came in here, and really, if I'm drawing this out myself, which is usually what I would rather do, this is how I would draw it, because we have our structure that gets broken here, right at $20. As we break, the last candle on this impulse down is going to be your order block. Now, what ends up happening here is all of the people who wanted to start buying Mara, and I'm not talking about you and me, we're talking about massive institutions and hedge funds. All of them who want to start buying Mara from about $14 to $16 cannot get in because we ended up bouncing so aggressively. So when we get this massive push and we see an order block sitting here, we know that the chances of it retracing back into the block are very high. This is where we want to go long. And so this is where I was starting to accumulate some shares and then accumulating some options starting, pretty aggressively yesterday. So what ends up happening is, and this is what's tough because a lot of people are like, oh, they try to play just everything too perfectly. The reason I started buying here is, perfectly in a real perfect world, this is how you would draw this, and you really wouldn't start buying until you retrace back into at least half of the order block, which is called the mean. But I understand that all of these levels are never perfect. Big money doesn't give a fuck about your drawings. They don't give a shit about them. So you have to take all of them with a grain of salt. It's kind of like a calorie tracker or, a Whoop band or any type of wearable. It's not going to be highly accurate. I mean, it's still going to do its job and it's still going to be good, just like any trading strategy, but it's not going to be so accurate to a T. So we have to start accumulating shares here, understand that we're going to average down around 15, and then if this lower low is taken out, then we have to get the hell out of this position because we might have another drastic sell-off like we had here when structure was broken. Now, instead, we bounced very early, and luckily I had my positions in place, not as much money as I wanted, but then we got Mara to break up 33% within the day. Now, I closed early, but this is why I love to code my own trading bots, which if you guys want to get access to all these trading bots that I'm about to show you, you can use the second link in the description. But basically, we end up having an insane day for Mara. And so now we can see how our bot traded for the day. We ended up entering our position here, and all we're looking for is a solid, strong uptrend. I'm never looking for anything crazy. I think that a very simple strategic strategy that is executed to perfection will beat the best strategy known to man that's executed shittily. So we had an entry here yesterday, big push up, 17%, closed when we saw weakness at $20. When we broke back up, it entered, closed for another 3% return. I'm actually doing a full automated ETF with this, which I have a video that's currently out now on my YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing weekly updates. So if you guys are interested in following trading bots, creating your own trading bots, I have a lot of dope content coming about that. And you can also join our Discord community where you'll be able to see all of our real-time entries and exits on our trading bots, which are posted here in the Discord community. It's going to be the second link in the description on YouTube, and on X, it's going to be within my bio. Thanks all support, guys. I hope that this video helped. Let me know any tickers you want me to cover, and I'll see you next time. Peace.